Now, you were with me 5 years ago in Richmond. Me, you, and Aaron Weber went to Milliey's Diner. Now, I didn't remember the name. You wouldn't remember the name, but I found the review, Milliey's Diner. And you remember after I ate that sandwich how I felt about it.
Yeah. A lot of wows and a lot of goshes.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
I tipped the cook.
Yep.
I never tipped the cook before. We had gone and done a house show in Richmond. And then after that show, that's how fast things can happen, though. 5 years ago, we were doing a house show in Richmond. And then this year, I sold out several shows at a club. So that's pretty amazing. But we went to like some diner at night, which was like some kind of like 50s diner, and we didn't really like it. And then the next morning we get up and we go to Milliey's Diner, I think on the recommendation of someone else. And I had this sandwich, and the sandwich just blew me away. And then I went, so let's say, so that'd be 2019. So then in 2021, maybe 2022, I go back to Richmond, and I can't find it. I don't know how to find the diner. I'm so bummed. I asked people about it. No one seems to know about it. The next year, 2023, are we in 2024? Is that what year it is?
Yeah.
In 2023, I go and I find Milliey's Diner. I find it. I look up. I said, I bet I left a review. So I found it on Google, and I go, yes. And I look it up, and it's 20 minutes away. And I'm just like, I'm tired. I only got 2 days in Richmond, and I'm just like, you know what? I just can't do it. I can't make the drive. So we decided not to do it. But this year, I was like, all right, I'm going to look up the review again. I'm going to find the place. This year, I'm going. Derek was with me. Derek had a car. I planned it out with Derek. I said, we're going to go. And he said, okay. So we go. And I show up at Milliey's Diner, so excited. I sit down, open the menu. I don't see anything about a corned beef sandwich in there. Now, they do have some kind of corned beef dish, but I don't see anything about a corned beef sandwich. So I ask about it. I think the entree that they're showing is a sandwich. And so I say, is this, I said to the server, I go, hey, I said, I was here 5 years ago, and I show her the review on my phone. And I said, I left this review. I said, is this sandwich? She goes, oh no, that's not a sandwich. And she goes, we don't have a corned beef sandwich. She goes, I've never even heard of a corned beef sandwich here. And I go, okay. And she's just kind of like, she goes, a lot changed after COVID. And I go, okay. And I go, well, I said, so you never even heard of this sandwich? She says, no. And I go, is there anybody, that was working here 5 years ago that might know about this sandwich? She goes, well, the manager maybe. She said, the manager wasn't here 5 years ago, but he's very familiar with that menu. So I go, okay. And she goes, I'll have him come over, talk to you. And none of this was serious. I'm being very playful and fun. I'm trying to make this a fun thing where I'm like, I'm not complaining about it, but I'm showing you that I left your restaurant a 5-star review, and I said this was the best sandwich I've ever had. That's a good review. So I show this to her, and she goes, I'll get the manager. And the manager never comes. And she says, well, we can, she said, I think I figured out what happened. She said, we had that sandwich about 5 years ago. And she said, you might have even gotten like the last one. This might have been the last leg of that sandwich. And so the manager never comes. They go, we're going to try. She said, we are going to try to maybe put some corned beef on one of the, like a croissant or whatever, and try to work this out for you. And I go, okay, well, I don't really want it on a croissant. Maybe do it on one of these other sandwich breads that you have here. So they were going to work something out for me, which I was like, all right. So their heart is there. The heart's in the right place. They're like, you know what? This guy seems fired up about it. But another thing, there was another person there. One of the hosts was working there. She goes, are you a comedian? She goes, oh, I just started following you on TikTok or whatever. And she goes, oh, you're so funny. So it's like they were now aware that I was a comedian. I'm in town doing comedy. I've left you a review. Best sandwich I've ever had. And then this sandwich they put together. Now, this corned beef dish that they had was a real wet dish. She said it may be a little sloppy, but it was just like, it was a bun with just some meat thrown on it. The execution was so poor. I would think, take the corned beef, throw it on the grill a little bit, try to dry it out a little bit, throw some cheese on there, some pickles, some mustard. Let's get creative with it. They just threw it together. And was it good? Yeah, the corned beef was good. The bread was good. Yeah, it was fine. But it was like the most disappointing turnaround of all time for sandwiches.
Well, your expectations were high.
Well,
They're about as high as they could be. It was the best sandwich you've ever had. And not only did they, they could have just delivered this same sandwich, but something was missing from it.
Well, that's true.
But not if that would have been
Would have been
hopeful.
That would have been some disappointment.
But this is like they're making you question your whole reality.
A guy that I did the Confused Breakfast podcast with, he said, I like the conspiracy that the sandwich never existed.
I mean, that's what I was thinking when you were sharing the story. I mean, it was some kind of glitch in the Matrix.
It's the Mandela effect.
Yeah, it is.
It's the Mandela effect on Milley's.
Yeah. Because I want to be honest with you. Now, this isn't a big deal because, as you know, I don't listen. Half of my life, I'm disconnected from reality in a dissociative state. So you know this about me, right? But when you told me you were going to get that sandwich you really loved in Richmond, I didn't even know what you were talking about. I don't remember the sandwich.
Jeez. That's ridiculous.
I don't.
That's ridiculous.
But I'm saying I don't know if it's because
This
the sandwich didn't exist.
It's just one disappointing beat after another today. I mean,
First of all, that's 5 years ago. And for me to remember my husband's favorite sandwich from 5 years ago, it's like a lot's gone down.
First, you crush the dream of me telling my dream. And then you lie about remembering the sandwich.
Because I'm so tired of you getting mad at me for not listening. So I was just like, yeah, I remember that sandwich.
I love that. I love that statement. I'm tired of you getting mad at me for not listening.
I am.
I love that you put that on me. Listen, yeah, I don't listen to you. How dare you be upset about it?
No, I'm mad at myself that I can't key in more. I'm trying to key in more.
I'm so tired of you getting mad at me for not listening to you. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Okay.
Listen.
So
I'm mad at myself.
I gotta get Aaron on this podcast to talk about this sandwich. I mean,
listen, I've been through a lot in my life. There's only so much I can carry.
Because I left there talking about that all the way to Newport News, Virginia, where I then tried to get another sandwich I tried to get a corned beef sandwich at that restaurant they had just to keep it going.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I actually don't think it is a case of me, classic Hannah not listening to something you said or not remembering a memory we shared together. I think there might be something to your theory that did it happen?
But
did
this
sandwich happen, or was it some kind of mystical?
But the review existed. If not for the review.
But do we trust everything on the internet?
Well, no, but
there's your answer,
Well,
bucko.
but it's my review though that I left.